Right.
I mean, if you guys are claiming that I'm a suspect, then, I got a problem with that.
We asked you for a DNA swab. Would you be willing to give us one?
Maybe. Because now I'm thinking I probably need to talk to a lawyer. I mean, we had a fight, and so I went and her.
Cops work hard to catch bad guys every day, but what if the real criminal is wearing a badge right next to them?
I've got to get to the bottom of an investigation, a very serious criminal matter. Okay? And right now you're a potential suspect in that. Do you realize that you're looking at some very, very serious charges here?
Here are several instances when cops realize their colleague is a secret. Starting with the case of William Talley, who tried to fool investigators by hurting himself during questioning.
Can I ask what my charges are? Yeah, right now you're charged with... No! Don't do that. No! Take me back to jail. Alright.
On May the 11th, 2019, a 911 call alerted authorities to a potential crime. The caller's message hinted at a serious situation unfolding. The caller explains that she had been on the phone with her neighbor William Talley, who informed her of a dispute he had with his girlfriend, Kelly Levinson. In the course of their altercation, Talley discharged his firearm in Levinson's direction, took her vehicle without permission, and departed the scene. He was not sure if she was still alive.
So I hung up with her and called our 911. Called her back, and she said then that he had a and they were asking them to leave. So I don't know anything since then.
Okay. So nobody's here has been injured?
No, that's what I told him when I called. He told me that he lives in here.
Okay.
But that's nothing.
No, this is her house.
This is her house.
He was living here with her.
Okay. And he's the one that told you that?
Yeah.
Okay, and what's her name?
Kelly.
Kelly Levinson was known for her compassion and dedication as a paramedic, but beneath her caring exterior, she harbored a secret that would ultimately lead to tragedy. Kelly was in a relationship with William, who was married. Kelly's neighbors reported that the couple frequently had heated disputes. The revelation of Kelly's secret relationship with a married man fits a common pattern in domestic homicides, where hidden relationships often contribute to escalating tensions. The police approached the house with caution, unsure of what they might find inside. As they entered, signs of a struggle became evident. As they made their way into the kitchen, they would find Kelly's body lying on the floor. The investigation took an unexpected turn when the identity of the suspect came to light. William Talley was not just any man. He was one of their own, a former police sergeant for the Columbus, Georgia Police Department. The thin blue line was about to be tested like never before, and the police knew that catching one of their own would be difficult. So they turned to those who knew William best, hoping to gain insight into the man they once knew.
The purpose of this interview is just to talk to you about the case that we're working on, former Sergeant Talley. I knew you had some type of relationship with him, whether it was a personal relationship, whether it was a friendship, or just as a co-worker. But we'll let you answer those questions. So we'll just start with just some brief questions about your knowledge about former Sergeant Talley.
Interviewing colleagues is a crucial step in building a psychological profile of the suspect, especially in cases involving law enforcement, where the perpetrator's training could complicate the investigation. As the interview progressed, a complex picture of William Talley began to emerge. His colleagues' words revealed a man of contradictions. They painted a picture of a man that they thought they knew, but how well did they really know him? The only lead that the police had was that he left the crime scene in Kelly's vehicle. They knew he hadn't only received police training, but SWAT as well, so he would be difficult to find. Just as the search for Kelly's missing vehicle kicked into high gear, fate threw investigators a curveball. A shocking 911 call would bring the manhunt to a dramatic and unexpected conclusion. William had been in a motor vehicle accident, and that he was still inside his vehicle. The suspect's involvement in a vehicle accident is a common occurrence in flight scenarios, often due to the high stress and emotional state of the perpetrator. The police used an armored truck to approach William, and they found that he was still in a daze from the crash. William would be arrested without incident and sent to the hospital.
There's 12 office.
Talley, you know me, right, bud?
We're taking it no matter what, right?
With the bandage, yeah, remember? All right, brother. We're gonna take care of you now.
You ready for the handcuffs?
Once medical staff determined William was in stable condition, authorities transferred him to an interrogation room. The tables had turned for William Talley. Once an interrogator, he now found himself on the other side of the table. His demeanor, initially calm, was about to change dramatically.
Hey man, want some water? Sure? A cup of coffee? You sure? Well, we got a bottle of water here just in case you need it. Are you gonna be able to sit up for us?
A little bit.
Back hurting you?
Yeah.
Everything?
Just a little weak.
Yeah. Do you know where you're at?
Mm-hmm.
Where you at?
Department.
What's today, you know?
May something.
May something. Who's the president?
Not Trump.
You know how long you been in the hospital?
Days.
Days. Yeah. All right, well, I'm here to tell you I'm not your judge, man, okay? I am not your judge. But we brought you over here, hopefully we can get a better understanding of maybe what happened on Saturday, Sunday, and hopefully we'll get your side of that, and you can kind of help shed some light on what happened out there, okay? And maybe some of the events that might have led up to this. All right? But before we do that, we're gonna we got all your information written down here on advice of rights form. You got a bachelor's degree, right? All right. And so we're gonna advise you of your rights, and then we'll kind of go from there, okay? You want to look? Are you able to see out of you? Which eyes is the worst? Are you able to see out of them?
I see double, but I'll probably be able to read.
Okay, I'm gonna bring this over here towards you. I'll read it if you just want to kind of follow along. I know you've seen this form.
The detectives offer water and check Talley's comfort to build rapport and lower his defenses. They claim they were not there to judge in order to create a non-judgmental atmosphere. Mentioning his education ensures he understands his rights. However, as his Miranda rights were read, the gravity of the situation dawned on him. He began to realize that his life was over. His reaction to a simple question would reveal the turmoil within.
Can I ask what my charges are?
Yeah, right now you're charged with violation of oath of office, and you're charged with possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime. That's what we're hoping you can tell us. Maybe once we start talking about it a little bit.
It wasn't Becky, was it? Who was it, Kelly?
Well,
was it a cop?
Well, that's what we want you hoping you can tell us. But before we get to any of that part, if you feel like it, if you're able to, and you can sign this.
Nobody's talking with me about things.
Well, we're gonna get to that. That's what we're hoping to get to.
No, I'm not talking until somebody talks to me.
Okay. Well, I can tell you who, if we can get started there. And it is Kelly.
No!
Don't do that.
No!
William was pretending to lose his mind in order to later claim the defense of insanity. But unfortunately for him, and very fortunate for the detectives, William's actions earlier contradicted his present actions and were a strong indication that they were dealing with a perfectly sane man. He had been on the run for a long time and made use of his training in law enforcement to evade capture. Had the crash not occurred, the chances of catching him would have been at best slim or nearly impossible. His emotional state continued to deteriorate as the interrogation progressed. His actions spoke volumes about the internal struggle he was facing.
No! No!
Talley, calm down. Talley. Bill. Bill.
No! No!
Bill.
No! No! No!
Bill. Can you relax for me?
No!
Napkins.
No!
Relax. Hey, I don't want you to hurt yourself, okay? You got enough injuries on you, man. You gotta heal up from all this, okay?
I'm not gonna talk.
You're not gonna talk?
I'm not gonna talk.
Okay, well, that's your right. Here, let me get you some napkins. Bill. Bill, no. Stop, Bill. Relax. Bill, stop. Relax.
I'm not here to judge, man. Just stop. Just stop.
Here, you want some water? I think you need to have a sip of water. Relax.
Stop. It's all unnecessary, Bill. If you don't want to talk to us, that's fine, but let's not do this, okay?
In situations like this, a suspect's self-harming behavior is a common stress response in high-pressure interrogations, often indicating deep psychological distress or an attempt to appear mentally unstable. As the interrogation reached its climax, Talley's behavior became increasingly erratic. His words and actions painted a disturbing picture of a man grappling with the consequences of his actions.
Bill, you don't want to talk to us? Are you aware that you have an attorney representing you or not?
Nobody's talking to me about anything.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you want to ask some questions, there's some we can answer, Bill, but in the same aspect, we'd like to talk to you if you want to talk. And that's your right if you don't want to talk.
Who else did I hurt?
Right now, you're hurting yourself.
I don't care about me.
Well,
who else did I hurt?
There's no one else.
I keep hearing when people whisper, or whispers.
You keep hearing whispers? Okay, well, what whispering do you hear?
No, tell me the truth.
Okay, there's no one else hurt. Okay. Everybody else is okay. Bill, let's not do this.
Take me back to jail.
Take you back to jail?
Take me back to jail.
Alright. Calm down, we'll take you back, okay?
Hey, look, why don't you sit up and hold your head up so all that don't rush to your head, okay? Sit up for me.
Okay.
Down. There you go. Sit up for me, man. Sit up. You got all that blood rushing down to your head. You know better than that, okay? Relax. Sit back.
Breathe.
Sit back, okay? Reach your back over there. Relax.
Breathe.
Let me sign whatever and take me back.
Okay, we'll take you back. We'll take you back. But I need you to sit up so all that blood don't rush down to your head.
Sit up. Hold by the table.
William refused to talk to the police, but they already had more than enough evidence to charge him with taking Kelly's life. William chose to plead guilty to murder and violating his oath. He was sentenced to a minimum of 30 years in prison, where at some point he will go before a parole board and they will decide his fate. Until then, he remains incarcerated at the Long State Prison in Georgia. While William's case seemed to reach a clear conclusion, Jessica and Matthew's story takes us down a far more complex path.
Do you know anything about where her clothes or retainer may have been?
Like I told her before, the only thing that we might have had would have been in that white trailer, and my stepdad has not mentioned anything else being in there.
We have evidence that says it came out of your storage room.
On April the 15th, 2016, Matthew Boynton and Jessica Lester began their day with a heated argument at a Walmart. The tension between them was noticeable, but no one could have predicted the events that would unfold. After returning home, the couple's dispute continued. Approximately 30 minutes later, the quiet afternoon was shattered by the sound of gunshots. A neighbor witnessed Matthew hurriedly leaving the house, raising immediate suspicions. When police arrived at the scene, they made a chilling discovery. Jessica lay motionless in a closet, her head bearing what appeared to be gunshot wounds. The initial assessment suggested a possible suicide attempt, but appearances can be deceiving. As Jessica fought for her life in the hospital, investigators uncovered a hidden divorce diary. The contents of this journal would prove crucial in understanding the events leading up to that fateful day. Meanwhile, Matthew's behavior raised eyebrows. His casual stop at a Waffle House before calling 911 after receiving a text supposedly from Jessica indicating she was going to take her life seemed oddly disconnected from the gravity of the situation.
Can you please dispatch a unit out to my location? Some in reference to my wife. I left the location. I'm backing around on Carver Road now. I'll be back there in about 2 minutes. She's having thoughts. My kids are at home with her, so I'm trying to hurry up and get back there. I'm driving. She just said that she's been experiencing thoughts right now. She told me to take care of the boys. So I'm trying to hurry up and get back home just to make sure that nothing's going to happen to them. Any weapons inside the house? Just my service weapons.
As the investigation progressed, doubts arose about the nature of Jessica's injuries. What initially appeared to be gunshot wounds were later suspected to be the result of blunt force trauma. This revelation would dramatically change the course of the investigation. The case took an unexpected turn when Jessica defied the odds and survived. Her recovery should have been a moment of justice, but instead it spiraled into a web of cover-ups and inconsistencies. In a shocking twist, Matthew walked away free, while Jessica, the victim, lost custody of her sons. The story might have ended there, but fate had one more card to play. Matthew became involved with another woman who made a discovery that would reignite the case, a bag filled with Jessica's belongings, the very items Matthew had sworn in a statement he no longer possessed. This revelation led to an intense interrogation that would expose the cracks in Matthew's carefully constructed lies. Matthew appeared confident, likely believing his status as a police officer would shield him from scrutiny. However, this facade quickly crumbles under pointed questioning. The detectives began by establishing Matthew's initial claim that he did not have any of Jessica's items. This set up a critical contrast with later revelations. Matthew confidently asserted his lack of possession, unaware of the evidence the detectives held.
So Jessica came in, she filed a report.
Okay.
I talked to you about it. You wrote a statement saying you didn't have any of her items.
Right.
The report specifically said her retainer and stuff like that, her clothes.
Okay.
Do you know anything about where her clothes or retainer may have been?
Like I told her before, the only thing that we might have had would have been in that white trailer, and my stepdad has not mentioned anything else being in there. And we gave everything back that we had, because she had put some stuff in like it's like a little foot chase thing. You open it up, it's got 2 little boxes. I think we used to use it for like diapers and stuff now, but I mean, everything that she had that I knew of was gone. I got rid of everything I knew of.
You got rid of a house, so?
Either give it back to her or her family came back and got it. You know, like she had a big kitchen table and some other stuff that her Aunt Kathy and Uncle Tim had come and got. Just different. I think my stepdad actually took a whole bunch of stuff over to her grandparents' house at 2464 East Milner in Pike, which is like right by my parents' house.
Okay. So when did you move to Lumay Road?
That would be sometime in March.
March? Through the course of that move, did you find anything that belonged to her at that point?
No, because if I would have, I would have turned it over to her, because I have no need to keep her stuff. The only thing I had at that point was that computer, and me and you had talked about that and gave it back to her, because she could let her talk to Bird.
Okay.
The interrogation took a significant turn when the detectives produced photographic evidence of Jessica's bag in Matthew's possession. This moment marked a clear contradiction to Matthew's earlier statement. Matthew's responses shifted as he was confronted with this evidence.
So, do you recognize that bag?
Yes, that bag that Jessica let me use to put all my gym stuff in when we used to be together.
Okay. So when's the last time you saw that bag?
It's been a long time. Like I said, when I used to work out at, there's 2 gyms in Thomaston. I don't remember the name of it. I used that one, and I had a gray Nike bag I used to work out in. So I interchanged my stuff like protein drinks, powder shakes like pre-workout, workout shorts, pants, shoes, whatever. I'd put it in that bag or my Nike bag.
So when's the last time you saw that bag?
I mean, it's been a while. I don't know the exact date. I don't know. I think my stepdad, he had it in the white trailer, and that's been a while. And he brought it, but I haven't been through it or anything. He put it in my storage thing in my house, which is like when you pull in the driveway. It's a little storage thing on the right. You open the door and it's got all my stuff in there. I had to clean some of it out recently. That was tossed in there, but I mean, it's in there with a bunch of my stuff, like a brown tub I used to keep in my old patrol car with gym stuff in it and work stuff.
Would that be the utility room or carport room at your new house?
Yeah, that's where I keep I keep stuff in that, and I keep stuff in like what's considered an office in the back of my house. So I just tossed it in there for the rest of my job. But it's just an old gym bag.
All right, Matthew. Look, let me see the photo. Let's see the photo. Known you a long time?
Yes, sir.
This bag, you saw it moving when you moved from your apartment to the main road.
I didn't know.
And your stepdad and Wendell saw it, and another female saw it. All right.
Okay.
At the house, in the apartments. Yes or no? When you moved from the apartment.
When I moved, like I said, I had all my stuff in the white trailer.
Matthew, that's not what I'm asking you. When y'all were in the process of moving, and you moved into the house that you're at now, your residence, did you not see this bag?
Yes, sir. It was in my storage room in the garage.
All right. Now, why would I be holding a picture of this bag?
I guess because Jessica brought it into you.
Why would Jessica have it if you had it at your house?
I don't know. I guess somebody got it from my garage or my shed.
Who would have got it?
There's a couple of people.
Okay.
I don't know
all right.
exactly who.
Okay.
As the questioning intensified, the detectives revealed more details about the contents of the bag, including Jessica's retainer and numerous articles of clothing. This information directly challenged Matthew's claims that he had been using the bag for gym purposes. The mounting evidence against Matthew's initial story became increasingly apparent. At this point, it was clear that detectives had more than enough to nab him and were just stringing him along to get more details from him. From his behavior, it was clear that Matthew was becoming increasingly desperate, but he still had to maintain his composure to avoid giving himself all away. He too was a detective, and these techniques were not new to him.
And inside that bag, there were numerous contents inside of it. And one of those is this right here. You know what this is?
It's like Jessica's old retainer thing that she had when we were together.
Right. The bag was completely filled with female clothes. And this is one photo of it. That's not yours.
No. Not.
All right?
No, sir.
Okay. That's not yours.
No, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Who did that belong to?
It's got Jessica's name on it, so it'd be Jessica's retainer thing.
If it was in this right here, where would that have been at?
I had all of her stuff in it.
What would it have been at?
It would have been in my garage thing like I'd sit in.
Which is where?
Which is at my house.
Which is at your house.
Yes, sir.
Did you buy that for Jessica?
I don't recall. I don't think I did.
Because she had...
I think her grandparents did.
Because she had retainers before she met you, right? Before y'all got married, right?
I believe so.
So that would make it whose property?
Hers.
Not yours, right?
Right. Yes, sir.
Whose bag is that?
Jessica's.
And the contents in the bag?
It's got all her stuff in it.
So why would you not have brought that to us when you saw the bag at moving?
Sarge, I promise I've not been through that bag. The last time I used that
Matthew,
bag was for the
I
gym.
didn't ask you that, Matthew. Listen to me, buddy. Whose bag is this?
I understand what you're saying. It's just because I should have brought it up here.
You know, all things, and I don't know anything about your other issue, but all things involved in reference to this case, all the going around, the statement that you wrote.
A pivotal moment occurred when the detectives confronted Matthew with his own written statement, which contradicted the physical evidence that they had presented.
This is Matthew Boynton, January 9, 2017. I was advised to complete a statement on a previous date by Lieutenant Yancey. Jessica Lester Boynton's property was already previously returned to her by my stepdad, Charles McDaniel Jr. Shortly after Jessica got out of this hospital, the dining room table, along with other items, were picked up by Kathy Zellner for Jessica. The remaining items, such as Hope Chest clothing and other miscellaneous items, returned to Jessica. I do not have any other items of Jessica's. This is Matthew Boynton. Is that your statement?
Yes, sir.
What's that, Matthew?
That's Jessica's bag. Jessica's retainer.
You understand you didn't buy that?
I understand.
That does not make it community property.
I understand.
That makes it her property.
Yes, sir.
That you're in possession of.
Yes, sir. I understand.
As the reality of the situation became clear, Matthew's demeanor changed from defensive to defeated as he realized the extent of the evidence against him.
We have evidence that says it came out of your storage room. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything you'd like to say?
No, sir. I said I was just done with my part script.
Do you believe that statement to be accurate and true?
Not now.
Did you believe it then?
No, sir.
Why would you say you didn't have the damn bag when you had it? You know you can't give a sworn statement and lie on it.
I know, Sarge.
Why would you do that, Matthew? It was a bag, man. It wasn't. It's not like it was. Talk to me, man. I mean, help me understand.
Sergeant, I swear, I know it's hard to believe, but I didn't think about that bag. Otherwise, I wouldn't have wrote. I said, hold on, LT. I got something. Let me go get it. I swear, I wouldn't have done that because I've got 2 kids, 3 and 1. You know, the baby especially. I took him in like he's my own. And I'm not setting a good example right now. Always trying to show my kids what's right.
But you know, when you swear an oath, we swear that we're going to uphold the law.
Yes, sir.
Regardless. And you know you can't lie. You can't lie in an investigation. You know that.
I don't know what I was thinking. Like I said, I don't know if I was scared or what. I don't know what was going through my mind then.
Does that make it right?
No, it doesn't. I know that. And I know this is everything I've ever worked for, like out the door. My main concern is my kids, man. Because I've got primary custody over them. And this is gonna set me back if I get locked up for this. I'm gonna go down to see them every other weekend. And she's not gonna take care of them like she's supposed to. Like she's supposed to put them on her insurance. I had to do that.
But Matthew, if you did what you were supposed to do, we would not be here in this situation. You think I want to be here?
No, sir.
I would rather be anywhere else than be here.
Clear.
But if you had done what you were supposed to do, we would not even have to be having that conversation. You would have to worry about it.
Yes, sir.
But you know that we have to do the right thing. We have to do what people pay us to do. You know that. You know that, especially with me and Lieutenant Yancey. You've known us a long time.
Yeah. I don't want to lose the primary custody of my kids. Like I know, I mean, no matter where I go now, I'm not really gonna get a good job now. But the main focus is my kids, man.
Life is not over with. Everything happens for a reason.
In the end, Matthew Boynton was eventually charged with 2 counts of false imprisonment and 2 counts of giving false statements. In August 2017, Boynton was acquitted of the false imprisonment charges, but found guilty of making false statements. He was sentenced to a short jail term and probation. Just when you thought a cold case couldn't get any colder, the story of Stephanie Lazarus showed how the long arm of justice can reach across decades.
I mean, if you guys are claiming that I'm a suspect, then, I got a problem with that.
We asked you for a DNA swab. Would you be willing to give us one?
Maybe. Because now I'm thinking I probably need to talk to a lawyer. I mean, we had a fight, and so I went and told her.
On June the 5th, 2009, Stephanie Lazarus began her day as usual, heading to the Los Angeles Police Department headquarters. As a respected detective in the art theft unit with 26 years of service, she had no reason to suspect that this day would be different from any other. She had been asked to come in to assist with what she believed was an art theft case, a routine request given her expertise. Unbeknownst to Stephanie, her colleagues had been secretly investigating her for months in connection with a cold case from 1986. The case that would change everything began on February the 24th, 1986, when Sherry Rasmussen, a 29-year-old nursing director, was found in her Van Nuys townhouse. She'd been beaten 3 times. Initially, investigators believed it was a burglary gone wrong, despite Rasmussen's husband, John Rutan, mentioning that Stephanie, his ex-girlfriend, had threatened Rasmussen in the past. Fast forward to the mid-2000s, the LAPD, in an effort to clear cold cases, revisited Rasmussen's and advances in DNA technology provided new hope. Detectives re-examined the evidence, including a bite mark on Rasmussen's arm. DNA from the bite mark was tested, and a shocking match was found. It belonged to Stephanie, a veteran detective with the LAPD. Stephanie had a history with Rasmussen's husband, John Rutan. They had dated in college, but John had moved on and married Rasmussen. Stephanie, it turned out, had been obsessed with John, and her jealousy was a potential motive for the To obtain a DNA sample for comparison, undercover officers had secretly collected a discarded straw Stephanie had used. The DNA matched the sample from the crime scene, providing the crucial evidence needed to proceed with questioning Stephanie. As the detectives began probing into her past relationship with John Rutan, subtle inconsistencies in her recollection started to emerge. Her inability to recall specific time frames is a common deception tactic to avoid committing to details that might be contradicted later.
Do you know John Rutan?
John Rutan? John Rutan?
Rutan.
Oh yeah, I went to school with him.
You did?
Yeah.
How long did you know him?
Gosh, I went to school in, went to UCLA in 1978 I started, and, met him at school at the dorms.
Were you guys friends, close friends?
Yeah, we're very close friends.
Yeah?
I mean, what's this all about?
Well, it's a case we're working on. It involves John, and in there, some of the statements we reviewed, there's notes and stuff that he knew you and stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, we good friends. Lived in the dorms for 2 years.
You guys lived in the same dorm?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Dykstra.
Okay. Were you guys just friends or anything else, or?
Yeah, we were good friends.
Yeah. Was there ever any relationship or anything that developed between you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we dated. I mean, what's this all about?
Well, it's relating to his wife.
Okay.
Okay. Did you know her?
Not really. I mean, I knew that he got married years ago.
Did you ever meet her?
God, I don't know.
Do you know who she was or anything?
Well, let me think. God, it's been a long time ago. I may have met her.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you. You said you dated John. How long did you guys date?
The detective's gentle prodding revealed Stephanie's reluctance to discuss details of her relationship with John. Her vague responses and inability to recall specific time frames raised questions about what she might have been hiding. Her body language and speech patterns began to shift as she discussed the duration of her relationship with John. Her repeated use of filler words and phrases like and indicated increasing anxiety and potential deception.
How long would you say you guys dated?
Oh, jeez. I couldn't even say. I mean, I started school there in 78. I started UCLA in 1978. I graduated in 82. I don't even remember what year he graduated, if it was a year or two before me.
Okay.
I think he was a little bit older than I was. I mean, I can't remember if he was born, let's say I'm born in 1960. I don't know if he was born in 58 or 59. I mean, I knew his parents. I knew his sister. His brother went to Northridge. His sister had spent the night at my house before. Obviously, I spent the night at his house before. He probably spent the night at my house before. I don't.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, because from what you're telling me, you guys dated while you were in college together, right?
Yeah, and probably after college. I can't. Geez, trying to think when I met my husband. I met my husband in. When did I meet Scott? Let's see. I was teaching DARE because I met Scott when I was teaching DARE up in Oregon. But we had long stopped, dating before that.
So you haven't talked to him for a long time?
Oh, I think I haven't talked to him in a long time. I couldn't even tell you when the last time I talked to him. I met Scott, I'm thinking in 92 maybe, April of 92.
As the conversation progressed, her attempts to downplay her connection to John became more apparent. The contradictory statements about the nature and duration of their relationship suggested she might have been concealing the true extent of their involvement. She attempted to downplay her connection to John by mentioning other relationships. This diversionary tactic is often used by suspects to create distance from a person of interest in an investigation.
I haven't been in contact with her in a long time. What's this all about? I mean.
Well, let me ask you, what ended the relationship between you and John?
It was kind of a weird relationship. I mean, we dated. I can't say that he was my boyfriend. I don't know that he would consider me his girlfriend. We dated. We did things. I played sports in college. He played basketball. His brother played basketball. It just didn't work out. At one point, another friend of mine who's actually dying right now went to Hawaii with us at some point.
Remember roughly when that was?
Oh, geez. Let me think. I'd have to check my pictures. Or I'd say I'd ask Greg, but my friend Greg is like dying of liver cancer right now. Yeah, I mean,
And you were saying that
it's 2009 now.
Had you ever met his wife?
I may have.
Do you remember her name or anything, or? Or what she did for a living, or where she worked, or anything about her?
Well, I think I'm going to say that I think she was a nurse.
The mention of John's wife, Sherry, generated a notably evasive response from Stephanie. Her claimed lack of familiarity with Sherry contrasted sharply with her detailed recollections of John's family, hinting at a possible source of tension. This selective memory is a red flag, potentially indicating an attempt to dissociate herself from Sherry.
The people that were on the dorm floor, we'd have get-togethers. There's probably like 4 or 5. I don't think he ever came. I don't think. No, it was mostly girls. A girl named Smita, Diane. There's 2 Dianes, but the one Diane, I don't think she ever came. I kind of lost contact with her. We were good friends on the floor. I mean, I don't. Again, I don't understand why you're talking about some guy I dated a million years ago.
Well, do you know what happened to his wife?
Yeah, I know she got.
What did you hear about that?
I saw a poster at work. I'm sure I spoke to him about it. I think I spoke to another friend of his about it.
And how did you first learn about that?
Jeez. Someone could have called me. I could have heard it at work. I think at one point there may have been a flyer or something. I know a good friend of his.
Were you on the job back then when that happened?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm sure I was on the job. That's why I would have heard about it with the flyer. He had a good friend, Mike Boldrick. Anyways, he may have lived in the dorms. I don't remember if that's how I met him. I may have talked to him. I mean, I don't remember how I heard. I mean, I don't even remember what year it was.
And you think you said you thought his wife was a nurse. Do you have any idea where she was working at the time, or did he ever mention that to you? Was it a hospital or a doctor's office?
I'm sure he must have mentioned it. Now that you're bringing that up, I think she worked at a hospital somewhere. And yeah, I may have met her at a hospital. I may have talked to her once or twice.
At a hospital?
Or more. You know.
Being that you were you used to see John, you know, was everything okay between you guys? I mean, there was never anything uncomfortable or anything between you and her?
You know, I don't know. I mean, it's been so many years. I mean, uncomfortable. I mean, I can't even remember if we had a conversation. I mean, we may have. I may have seen her at his apartment. You know, geez, how many years ago was that? I don't even know what year she, you know, got.
Where was his apartment?
On Roscoe.
Okay.
Yeah, Roscoe and east or west of DeSoto. Either east or west of DeSoto.
Do you know where he moved after? Did he move after he got married, or do you know, or?
I'm sure he did.
Did you know where he was living, or?
Somewhere in the valley.
Did you ever visit him and his wife?
No.
No? Never went out to, you know, get together, dinners, anything of that nature?
No. Like I said, his sister used to come over. His sister had come to my place. I knew his brother because his brother played basketball at Northridge. In fact, I was just coming across some pictures that I had just scanned from. I take a lot of photos, like 10,000, and I just did a service where I scanned everything. And I'd seen some pictures of his brother playing basketball.
You just put them all on your computer so you could have them accessible and do things with them?
Well, my partner is a big photo thing, and he had a deal to scan. So I spent a ton of time just scanning photos. I mean, I paid a company to do it. So I've got photos of, his brother, his sister, you know.
10,000 pictures?
Oh, yeah.
How long did that take them?
Months.
Stephanie's recollection of how she learned about Sherry's passing was suspiciously vague. Her inconsistent answers and attempts to change the subject raised red flags about her potential involvement.
I can't even tell you the last time I had any contact with any of them. It's been so long.
Did he tell you what happened? Like what he heard from the detectives or the police, or?
You know what? He may have. For some reason, I'm thinking that, again, this is like, or something. I think I faintly remember him mentioning something maybe about
that she was involved with that?
You know, I don't know that he said she was involved or they thought she was. You know, again, it's been so long. He could have told me the whole story of what happened. And, like I said, I'm faintly remember either between him or the flyer that there was some kind of a burglary. You know.
Let me ask you, did the detectives ever reach out to you?
No one's ever talked to me. I don't think anybody ever talked to me about where was I working.
1986?
I would have been working in Devonshire. You know, I'm thinking that I did speak to somebody.
Oh, really?
I couldn't tell you who it was.
Because it doesn't say anything.
It was probably on the phone.
Okay.
Would it have been somebody in regards to this, or just?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you said a name, if I would remember it, because I worked Van Nuys for a while.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I worked.
As the detectives pressed for more details about Stephanie's interactions with Sherry, her responses became increasingly defensive. Her inability to provide clear answers about alleged confrontation suggested she might have been hiding significant information. The detectives were making good progress, and things were already looking like that with a little more probing, she was going to...
They're saying you were having with Sherry. It seems like the relationship is just going on an even plane.
That just, I don't have the recollection of that at all.
No?
No.
And, because from what you're telling me is when you guys met at the hospital, you guys talked, but it wasn't, from what you recall, confrontational from either side?
I'm trying to, turn my memory back, and I can't even picture the picture the conversation. I mean, I can't even picture the conversation.
Well, let me ask you, I mean, at the hospital, it never got to the point where people are going, hey, everybody go to your own corner type of thing?
I don't think so.
Nothing like that?
I don't think so. I mean, I really don't. I mean, if you say people said that, that's not ringing a bell to me at all. I mean, it's not. I mean, that's not ringing a bell. I'm thinking that the hospital thing, that sounds familiar, that I met her there. I just can't say that I there. Again, was I there with other people? I don't know. I don't think I ever met her there or him there, meaning one or the other. I don't think so. I can't. I don't think so.
Because I know the way my wife is. At our house, she wouldn't want my own girlfriends there, So I don't know if maybe she had the same mentality towards you, as far as you ever being there, or being welcome there, because it's.
You know what? If somebody said I was there when they were there, then that's possible. Mm-hmm. But I don't recall. I mean, I don't think so. It's not sounding familiar.
Yeah, because I guess basically what I'm asking is, were you ever welcome to the house? Like, hey.
Oh, come over?
Yeah, come on over. We're having a barbecue, a dinner party, Christmas party, whatever.
I don't know.
The interrogation took a dramatic turn when the detectives began to hint at Stephanie being a suspect. The sudden change from cooperative to defensive is a common reaction when a suspect realizes that they may be cornered.
As they processed everything, they did the best they could at that time, and they looked at a lot of people and different things in this case. And you're right.
I mean, if you guys are claiming that I'm a suspect, then I got a problem with that. Okay. So, if you're doing this as an interrogation, you're saying, hey, I'm a suspect. Well, now I got a problem with, now you're accusing me of this? Is that what you're saying?
We're trying to figure out what happened, Stephanie.
Well, I'm just saying, do I need to get a lawyer if you're accusing me of this?
You don't have to. You're here of your own free will.
I know, but
you're not under arrest. You can walk out.
You can leave whenever you like.
Well, but, I'm trying to give you some background of how I knew him, and now you're telling me that somebody's saying that we had this big old fight, and I don't even know what you're talking about. And I don't want to, get in trouble for something that I didn't even do, or you're saying I did something.
Okay.
Yeah, we understand.
I mean, how would you guys like it if the tables were turned on you?
I understand. No.
No, that's what we're telling you. You're free to go whenever you want. If this makes you uncomfortable and you want to,
now you're starting to make me uncomfortable.
The thing is, detectives did what they could at that time on the crime scene. Okay, and the burglary thing you're talking about, that is an angle that they looked at. But now we're looking at everything else on the case, because nobody was ever arrested on the case.
I don't know that or not.
Okay. Now, what we'd like to do is, obviously about all the DNA stuff and things of the nature that, gets done on cases nowadays. If we asked you for a DNA swab, would you be willing to give us one?
Maybe. Because now I'm thinking I probably need to talk to a lawyer.
Stephanie's reaction to the mention of DNA evidence was particularly revealing. Her abrupt refusal and insistence on legal counsel strongly suggested she feared what such evidence might reveal. This behavior is consistent with a guilty party realizing the gravity of this situation.
That's where we're at too. Because right now, from looking at the evidence, it's possible we may have some DNA at the location.
That's great.
And we're going to do what we can to try to put this thing together. And your name's in the book. These people are pointing at you for whatever reason.
I don't know why. That's just crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
And it would be irresponsible on our part not to look at it.
I know. You guys have to do your job, and I guess I'm going to have to contact somebody. So.
That's fair.
Because I know how this stuff works.
Sure.
I just can't believe it.
We understand that. If we were in your position, we would feel the same way.
I just can't even believe it. It's just, I'm shocked. I'm really shocked that somebody would be saying that I did this. We had a fight, and so I went and killed her. Come on.
Well,
that's...
Okay.
All right.
Well, thanks for giving me the courtesy. I wish I pre-recorded it.
Thanks for your time.
After the interrogation, the detectives had enough to move forward. Stephanie was arrested and charged with the murder of Sherry Rasmussen. On March the 8th, 2012, after several days of deliberation, the jury found Stephanie Lazarus guilty of first-degree murder. She was sentenced to 27 years to life in prison, with the possibility of parole. As shocking as Stephanie's fall from grace was, the case of Michael Neely takes us into an even darker realm, where a night of drinking between colleagues spirals into a tragedy that shatters the thin blue line.
Did you advise him what he was charged with?
No, Michael, you've been charged with second degree.
Okay. I had no idea what I was being charged with.
You are sitting on his chest. His face is beaten, and he tells you, get off of him, get off of him.
On November the 10th, 2019, Detective Michael Neely and Chief Lucky Miller from the Manford Police Department in Oklahoma arrived in Pensacola Beach, Florida. They were there to attend a law enforcement conference and shared a room at the Hilton Hotel. As the evening progressed, the two officers were reportedly drinking and socializing. What started as a routine professional trip took a dark turn. Hotel staff and guests reported hearing loud noises and a commotion from the officers' room. When hotel security investigated, they found Chief Miller unresponsive and severely injured. Detective Michael, present in the room, appeared disoriented and showed signs of intoxication. Emergency services were called to the scene, hoping to save Chief Miller's life. Despite their efforts, Chief Miller was pronounced at the scene. As investigators assessed the situation, they noticed blood on Detective Michael's hands and clothes. This physical evidence, combined with Michael's confused state and inability to explain what had happened, led investigators to suspect his involvement in Miller's passing. Witnesses confirmed that only Michael and Miller had been in the room during the incident. Given the circumstances and evidence, Michael was immediately detained at the scene and taken into custody by the Escambia County Sheriff's Office. Detective Michael, now a suspect, was placed in an interrogation room. The tables had turned on the law enforcement officer, as he now faced questioning about his relationship with Chief Miller, his recollection of the events, and any potential motives for the tragic incident that had unfolded in room 527. The interrogation began with detectives establishing rapport, a common technique to put the suspect at ease and encourage conversation. They discussed flight details and arrival times in a casual manner.
How you doing, Mike?
Hello.
I'm Investigator Martinez. I think you've already met Investigator Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my card, sir. All right, Mike, before we begin, I'm going to advise you of your rights, all right?
Yeah.
So tell me, Mike, you guys flew out of Tulsa?
Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City, okay. Into Pensacola?
Yep.
Was it a direct flight?
Nope.
All right. Where'd you guys stop? Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Was it a long layover or just a...
Short, pretty short.
Right. So from Houston to Pensacola?
Yep.
What time did you guys get in?
I don't even remember. The afternoon sometime.
Okay. Did you guys get the run car?
Yes.
Okay. Enterprise or?
I think it was Enterprise.
Okay. All right, and then from there?
We got to the hotel and that's it.
You got to the hotel. Did you guys make any stops anywhere?
Nope.
As Michael recounted the events leading up to the incident, his vague responses and claimed memory lapses indicated an attempt to avoid incriminating details. He frequently claimed he didn't remember specific times or events.
Any problems or anything going on at crowd? Just normal dinner or what?
Just normal.
Mm-hmm. Any drinks there or just dining with?
A couple beers. Yeah.
And I guess from where Krabs is to the hotel, just walked.
Yes, not very far. Yeah, it's just right there.
Was it a early dinner, late dinner, or what?
Very early. It was. I don't even think it was dark yet.
All right. And then tell me what you guys did once you got back to the hotel.
That's about it. Just watched football game.
Particular team or just football in general?
That was a Dallas game starting.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas and somebody, I don't remember who.
All right. Do you remember hotel staff or a hotel employee coming up and telling you guys to keep it down?
I don't. don't remember that.
So what is the last thing you remember as far as that evening until the football game?
Michael's surprising question about who had passed away revealed his attempts to gather information, a tactic suspects often use to tailor their stories.
Well, I mean, I know you're asking me questions, but can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Okay, homicide. Who is?
Yes, sir.
Trained detectives have ways of getting a suspect to talk without asking them questions about the case. They employed these techniques to encourage Michael to speak freely.
I guess I probably don't have anything else to say then. I've got nothing to say to you.
Despite initially invoking his rights, Michael's curiosity led him to continue talking, a common mistake that investigators exploit.
Did you advise him what he was charged with?
No, Michael, you've been charged with second degree.
Okay. I had no idea what I was being charged with.
Yeah, you're being charged with second degree. You're fixing to be booked in the Escambia County Jail with no bond, and we've already notified your wife.
Okay.
And
the victim. Yes. I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay.
And we've notified the department.
Okay.
And the task force head.
Okay.
You have any questions for us?
I mean, I've got 1,000 of them, but I mean, it really doesn't make it.
Well, I mean, sure it does. I mean, if you want to talk, we'll sit here and listen to you talk. I mean, we'd love to know what the heck happened. I mean, that's up to you. I mean, we'll answer your questions, in return. So
I would love to know what happened too.
Well, I mean, do you want to continue to talk to us? If you do, then I mean, we'll tell you what happened.
I mean, I would love. I would like to know what happened. Because I'm telling you, I don't have any memory of any of this, and I'm shocked. It's shocking. Tell you that. Maybe it could jog my memory. I have no idea. But I don't know.
Do you want to continue talking to us?
Yeah, I mean, I'll continue to talk. I'd like to know what happened. I mean, if you'll tell me what happened, that'd be great.
The detectives used a storytelling approach, revealing details of the crime to probe Michael's reactions. His continued claims of memory loss became less credible as more information was presented.
Well, the first call came a little bit after 6, I believe. One of the guys that was in the room next to you didn't say you guys were arguing, just being loud, just laughing, yelling. Probably maintenance or security came up, knocked on your door, answered it. The guy said, "Can you guys keep it down? We got a noise complaint." He said, "Fine, we'll keep it down."
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the next noise complaint came out about 9 minutes till 10 in the evening. This one was from the other neighbor because the one beside you, the first complainant, they moved his room because you guys were continuing just to be loud. Nothing out of sorts, just being loud. This time he can't get anybody to come to the door. All he hears, he's knocking. He hears just grumbling, grunting. Uses his car to get in. Walks in, and you remember the room layout. There's 2 queen beds. He is on the ground between the bed and the wall. You are sitting on his chest. His face is beaten, and he tells you, "Get off of him, get off of him." Pulls you off of him. You go on the bed, roll off the bed, fall on your face, and that's where the nose and the lip get busted and unresponsive.
Michael's lack of emotional response when told about the chief's death was noteworthy, potentially indicating a disconnect from the gravity of the situation or an attempt to maintain composure.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, sir. He was found between his bed and the wall. And his face was, his right eye was pretty much swollen shut.
Does any of that jog your memory, Mike?
No, it doesn't.
Did you have any kind of animosity or anything like that towards?
Not at all. No.
Have you ever had a violent outburst or anything like that before when you were drinking?
No.
Anybody ever told you that you got violent when you drank?
No.
Michael's denial of any animosity towards the victim or history of violent behavior while drinking might have been an attempt to distance himself from the crime.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
There's a lot of people, like I said, commander down in your unit said you guys were practically brothers.
Yes.
You were too.
It's possible that Michael could very well be in shock, which would explain his behavior. A person suffering from shock will have an altered mental state. Their mind feels like it's in a fog, which slows down their alertness and awareness. They will also be in denial about their situation. However, he repeated expressions of disbelief rather than showing concern for the victim, which could be a strategy to appear innocent. He frequently used phrases like, "I can't believe it. I cannot believe it."
Do you have any questions for us, Mike?
It's just unbelievable.
Did you make any phone calls? I mean,
I called my wife, earlier in the night. It's it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Why do you say that?
I got no problem. I can't believe what you're telling me. It has happened. I can't believe it. Wow.
Well, this sucks for us just as much as it does for you. I mean, having to arrest a fellow officer, for something like this.
I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Huh. And from what? What's he dead from?
As more details are revealed, Michael's continued insistence on not remembering becomes less credible, potentially indicating deception.
Right now, like I said, we don't know until we have the autopsy.
Right. I'm feeling my hands. My hands don't feel anything. What's he dead from? I don't understand.
It appears that he's been beat to death by all indicators that we have at this time that we can physically see. It gives the appearance that he's beat to death. His head is very swollen, like we said. His right eye is completely shut, and as he laid there, as time was going on, as we were getting the search warrants and everything together that we needed to do, bruises were starting to show up even more. You can't think of anything that would have triggered you to jump on?
Nothing. It's nothing.
Michael began to offer selective memories, possibly choosing which details to reveal while still maintaining overall ignorance of the incident. He recalled the chief wanting to go out, but doesn't remember getting upset about it.
We went out to eat.
Was the game playing when y'all left to go out to eat?
No, we came back. It was a Dallas game. I don't even know what time it started. And he kept wanting to go out. I just kept telling him I don't want to go out. It's a bad idea. You shouldn't go out.
Where was he wanting to go?
The bar. I don't know nowhere specific, you know.
Did he keep on about it and you got upset about that?
Well, he kept on about it, but I don't remember getting upset about it. You know, he kept on about it. It's like, it seemed later than it was, you know, it seemed late.
Yeah, it's time change, man. It messes everything up. It gets darker a whole lot quicker than it does. It seems later than it is.
Yep. And, you know, he kept wanting to go out. Let's go to the bar. When you go to the bar, I said, that's a bad idea. We shouldn't, you know, let's not do that. I mean, I wasn't pissed off at him, for God's sakes.
At this point, his recollection of specific details about drinking vodka contrasted with his claimed memory loss about other events, raising questions about the truthfulness of his earlier statements.
Now, I remember you said that he got the bottle of vodka. Were you guys both drinking vodka, or just?
Yeah, I drank vodka with him, you know.
Because that way it'll be something the ME's office will need to know, especially when we do the toxicology. It's unbelievable. I just cannot believe, I can't believe it.
After the interrogation, Michael Neely was charged with second-degree and subjected to a jury trial. Ultimately, Michael was sentenced to life in prison for taking the life of Police Chief Lucky Miller. From one fallen officer to another, the case of Grant Harden takes an even more sinister turn.
I can tell you that much. And if it was an accident, it was an accident, and that's all it was. But if you intentionally went out to hurt somebody, that's a whole nother story.
March the 23rd, 2017 began as a regular Thursday in Johnson County, Arkansas, but quickly turned dark. Former Police Chief Grant Harden was spotted on County Road 1700, seemingly offering assistance to a passing motorist. The quiet rural road gave no hint of the about to unfold. In a shocking instant, the scene erupted into chaos. Harden allegedly drew a firearm and shot the driver, James Appleton, in what appeared to be a premeditated act. As investigators began to piece together the events, a disturbing picture emerged. Surveillance footage revealed Harden's vehicle lurking near the crime scene. Ballistic tests would later confirm the chilling connection. The bullets matched Harden's registered firearm. The Arkansas State Police moved swiftly, closing in on their suspect. When they finally apprehended Harden, the former police chief found himself on the other side of the law. Instead of upholding justice as he once did, Harden now faced intense questioning about a crime that had completely shattered trust in local law enforcement. The seasoned detectives knew that they needed to tread carefully with someone familiar with interrogation tactics. They started with casual conversation, attempting to put Harden at ease. However, his behavior hinted at underlying tension. The investigators, recognizing Harden's law enforcement background, attempted to appeal to his professional understanding of the process. However, Harden's unexpected insistence on remaining silent caught them off guard and shifted the tone of the interrogation.
I don't know. I don't even know what to say at this point. You realize that I'm trying to help you out here. I'm trying to get you out of here quicker. And you're just sitting here.
Well, am I free to go then?
No, you're not free to go.
Why?
Because I've got to get to the bottom of an investigation, a very serious criminal matter. Okay. And right now you're a potential suspect in that. Does that make sense?
I don't understand why I'm a suspect. No.
Well, that's for me to know and for you to tell me why you're not a suspect.
This is your time to kind of help you.
Okay.
Tell me this.
I do apologize on the front end.
No. I'm not mad at you.
I'm going to exercise my right to be silent.
Okay. So just tell me this. I know you were a police officer before, right? You're a police officer in Gravity. I mean, not Gravity, but in Gateway. It's an easy yes or no.
I'm being silent.
Well, I can see that. Where do you live at?
When questioned about simple details like his past job, his reluctance to answer, despite his law enforcement background, hinted that he was trying to avoid the direct confrontation of the evidence. Research shows that people who are not being truthful often avoid direct answers and use silence to dodge tough questions. In a tactical shift, the investigators attempted to reconstruct Harden's day, hoping to find inconsistencies or gaps in his timeline. His vague and evasive responses to questions about seemingly mundane activities suggested possible attempts to distance himself from the crime.
Did you sleep in today? Yeah. I bet you did. You could have got to work tonight, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. What time did you get up?
Oh boy. I don't even know. Probably around noonish.
Around noon. That's usually what time I got up too. I'd sleep in as long as I could. Around noon. Did you get anything done today? No?
Oh no.
Did you watch anything good on TV? Usually that's what I do. I'd eat and watch TV. I'll woke myself up a little bit. Anything good?
Same old stuff.
Oh yeah?
On TV.
You watch the same episodes? Or like, do you have a specific TV show you wake up and watch?
Well, we watched, I feel like my wife always has it on I can't remember what channel it's called, right now, TV Land.
Oh, okay. What shows play on that? Like Andy Griffith and stuff like that? Yeah?
Yeah, I think they've been playing a lot of MASH.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not too crazy about that, but
No.
it's on.
It's a little before my time. I haven't really watched any of that. I couldn't even tell you what it was about.
Yeah, it's a Korean
Oh yeah.
Doctors and have a field hospital at the Korean War.
Oh, okay.
Stuff.
All right.
It's really just kind of a comedy.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's not too bad.
Does your wife like that?
Oh well, I think she'd better watch other stuff, but that's all.
Yeah. Well, I guess that gets her by until something better comes on, right?
Yeah.
So, did you watch that today? Was that on today?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Any movies? Anything good? Anything else?
Oh, let's see. They had. Well, there was that.
People trying to avoid tough questions often engage in irrelevant small talk or focus on trivial details to avoid providing direct answers. The detailed recounting of his TV watching habits when asked about his activities suggested he might have been using these as distractions to avoid discussing more important aspects of the case. The detectives, sensing Harden's growing discomfort, pressed harder on the details of his day. His inconsistent responses about activities like feeding chickens and laying grass seed raised further questions about his truthfulness.
So did you feed your chickens and start laying the seed down on the grass?
Well, let's see. I think just right after that I had that bag sitting up there and I thought, well, I better get that out there.
Might as well.
And it's
enjoy this day
nice
today.
weather.
Yeah.
Well, I thought if it's going to be like this, maybe it'll grow.
Yeah. Hey. And maybe, we're supposed to get rain this weekend, so.
Really?
Yeah. It's supposed to be nice.
Well, somebody said it's supposed to be nice.
Yeah, it's supposed to be nice, I think. Today was pretty, and I think Friday's supposed to be pretty. Saturday, I think it's going to go to like the 60s. And then Saturday night, I want to say there's probably like a chance of rain, like 40% or something.
Somebody said it's supposed to get down to 25 degrees Saturday.
I'm not ready for that.
And I'm not either. I'll be getting sick.
I'm already working on that, so I'm not ready for that. Well, so what did you do after you got your chickens fed and all your seed laid down?
I just went back in the house.
Oh, yeah? Did you do anything when you went inside?
Played on the computer.
Oh, yeah?
Probably sometime in there.
Anything good? Any games?
No, just a stupid game I played. What's it called? Call of War.
Call of War? What kind of game is that?
It's just it's not a game like this.
No.
It's just a game that has like, you'll be, say you're England or something like that, you know, and then you got to build up your country, keep somebody else from attacking it, and,
that's cool.
And then move your little.
That sounds
It's a little
interesting.
kid game, probably.
No, it sounds better than the type that you play like this.
It's free.
Hey, is it one of those you have to like sign in and keep track of, that kind of thing? Yeah, I mean, it's a good way to pass time, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, when you, that's basically it, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
His extensive talk about his day in computer game could be a way to deflect from more critical questions and to fill the silence, which is a common tactic in high-pressure situations. His continued evasiveness and insistence on remaining silent, even when presented with the opportunity to explain his side of the story, painted a damning picture.
I haven't had steak in a while, though. Like good steak. You can't really find that anywhere around here anymore. So did you drive tonight? Or did your daughter drive? I know she mentioned that she just got her driver's license. Oh, yeah. Have you got her a car yet?
No.
No? Has she been begging for one yet?
Not really. She wants a truck. I don't know.
Hey, that girl doing something right if she wants a truck. That's better than a car, right? Truck's probably safer.
Well, I don't know.
You don't think so?
Well,
I guess it depends on what kind of truck she gets. So what happened when y'all were on your way home tonight? Y'all just ran into the roadblock? Yeah. I wasn't there when that part happened. What'd they do? When you guys ran into him?
well, the guy stopped us and then he wanted us to go down the Jones Trailer Park Road, and I said, well, I live 2 houses down here on the right. He said, well, let me ask the boss about that.
Oh.
He went and got to the radio for a while or something, and then he said, what's your name? I said, Grant Harden. And he said, can you step out of the car? And then they put me in handcuffs and put me in the back of that one car.
Harden's lengthy explanation about his daughter's car and experience with the roadblock might have been his way of sidestepping more direct questions about his involvement in the incident. Detective Cordero shifted tactics, attempting to build rapport and appeal to Harden's sense of duty and family. She emphasized her desire to understand his perspective.
I mean, like, I'd rather hear your side of the story versus anything else. To me, everybody deserves that, right? Especially, you're a good guy. You're a good person. So, I don't know. I feel like everybody should have that chance to tell their side, especially if something bad happened. I would want somebody to give me that chance. I just want to know what got you to this point. I mean, I worked with you, so like, you helped me, you know, have my back in a situation. So it would be nice to understand from your viewpoint why you would be here, what happened, or did you see something happen, or were you put in a situation and kind of walk me through it. But that's your choice, right? Everybody has a choice. You have to be the one willing to put it out there. I don't know. I feel like you've done this profession long enough. You know how things go. You're a good guy. You're not a drug dealer. You're not a child molester. You're not, you know, anything like what you've dealt with, what I've dealt with. But I think today you've dealt with a bad situation. I just want to know what happened. I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to know, you know? want answers, especially your family. I would. I do. I want to help you. That's the bad part. I want to help you figure it out. All I can do is sit here and say that I'll listen, work it out with you, figure it out together. But you have to be willing to talk to me about it. I'm a pretty real person. Pretty straightforward. I know it's uncomfortable. I know it's uncomfortable and nerve-wracking sitting in a room by yourself with people that you've worked with in the past, knowing the situation, but like I said, I wasn't there. You're the only one who can kind of fill in the blanks at this point.
When people are unwilling to share important information, they often focus on personal reassurances and generalities, as Harden did, rather than addressing specific questions about the incident. This can be a way to deflect from the key issues at hand. Despite Cordero's efforts to create a more comfortable atmosphere, Harden remained guarded. His responses revealed a calculated approach to the interrogation, hinting at a deeper understanding of the legal process than the average suspect.
You don't have to talk to me, but I'm willing to listen.
I know you are.
We all make mistakes. We all get put in positions. We're all human. We all react a certain way. We all have emotions. Sometimes we overreact. Sometimes we're put in situations we don't want to be put in. Like, I'd rather, have met you again outside having coffee instead of seeing you for the second time in here. But I don't know. I think you just made a mistake today. Or somebody made a mistake today. And I think you know what happened. I just want you to help me understand it. Because I really do. I want to understand what happened. I think you know what I'm talking about. And I think you know that some things are going to come out. And I want to be able to stand on your side and say, hey, this is what happened. And he was upfront. He was honest. And he explained it. And he cooperated.
Does he need a lawyer?
Who?
The guy you're talking about. Me.
Honestly, I think you're the only one who can make that call. But I think you're an honest man. I think you've been an honest man. I think.
Well, that's good. I'm not just going to be quiet.
You can be quiet. I'll keep talking. No, I'm serious though. I think you're an honest man. I think you've done a lot of good in your life.
The detectives then appealed to Harden's emotions and sense of morality, emphasizing his good character and family relationships. This tactic, often used to elicit confessions, seemed to have some impact on Harden's demeanor, though he still refrained from providing any substantive information.
All you've done is spent your life helping others, just like I have. Now you've had something happen, and you're trying to figure it out, but how are you supposed to figure it out on your own? Like, why not let me help you figure it out? Help me understand what happened today so I can help you before everything else comes out. So there's an explanation instead of it just looking bad. Because I don't want you to be portrayed like this monster. If you made a mistake, you made a mistake. You're no different than anybody else. everybody's human. Trust me, I've made plenty of mistakes in my life. But I think you have a lot to live for. Beautiful family who I've had the privilege of talking to. Who they love. You love them very much and they love you. Your daughter looks a lot like you. She's a sweet.
She's a lot prettier.
She is very pretty. She is very pretty. Very pretty. But the way I look at it is you're a man. Men face their mistakes and they own up to them. And they figure out what happened and figure out how to solve it and move on. I mean, I think you know just as well as I do people who can admit they've done something wrong or witnessed something wrong. It's kind of like a weight lifted off their chest. You automatically feel better. Or at least in my experience, I feel better.
I'm listening, I'm just...
No, I understand.
As the tension in the room grew, Cordero directly confronted Harden about making a mistake, attempting to offer him an opportunity to explain his actions. His continued silence in the face of these direct questions spoke volumes.
Did you make a mistake today? You don't have to verbally answer if you don't want to. Would you want your daughter to admit if she made a mistake? Because you're a good man and that's how you raised your daughter. My dad would expect me to do the same thing. Because he was raised the same way. And I honestly want to be there. Help your daughter understand. After you help me understand. I honestly feel like you want to talk to me and explain it.
How long are we going to be here?
I don't know. Hopefully not very long. I know you're tired. I get it.
Are you guys gonna arrest me for something?
I don't know. Can't answer that. Did something happen today?
How long can you detain me?
Well, it's an ongoing investigation.
In a crucial moment, Harden finally broke his silence to ask about his potential arrest. This question, coming after hours of interrogation, suggested a growing concern about the severity of the situation. The detective's vague response about an ongoing investigation maintained the pressure on Harden. As the interrogation reached its final stages, Harden's resolve began to waver. His request for a lawyer marked a significant turning point, indicating his recognition of the gravity of the situation.
Do you want to talk to me?
Can I get a lawyer?
Yeah.
I don't feel like I need to.
It's up to you.
But obviously something's going on and I need one.
It's up to you. I just want to hear your side of it.
I want to get a lawyer.
Following the interrogation, Grant Harden's case took a darker turn as further investigations uncovered his involvement in a 1997 case. In February 2019, Harden pleaded guilty to 2 counts of linked to the mistreatment of an elementary school teacher. The DNA evidence from the 1997 crime scene connected Harden to the revealing his criminal activities that spanned decades. He was sentenced to 25 years for each count of adding 50 years to the original 30-year sentence for the murder of James Appleton.